gonna transition into what last week was the largest segment that we specifically had at 50 minutes. Nuts.
Jesus Christ.
It was bonkers. We're gonna be talking about the patch notes. I'm gonna pass this along over to Frank, and he's gonna talk about the news.
Yes, mind you, again, I'm still suffering from COVID vaccine symptoms, so if I stumble on my words, please ignore that. But our first article this week comes from Polygon, and this is some actually pretty big news. Sony's MLB The Show 21 will arrive on Xbox Game Pass at launch by Taylor Lyles. So in an insane last-minute weekly announcement from Microsoft, they revealed that Sony San Diego Studios' MLB The Show will be available day one on Game Pass. I say give a medal to whoever got this deal signed, because that is absolutely insane to think about. What do you guys think? I mean, when you think about it, I was telling Fee earlier, it's insane that not only are we getting a Sony published and developed studio game on a Xbox console, but they also agreed to put their game on their competitors' like Game Pass. So either a lot of money has been thrown around, or Sony has lost it, and we will see more Sony news later on why people think Sony has absolutely lost it. But what do we think?
I will say, just to preface it, I wonder how much of this was actually Sony's decision, given that a lot of part of this big IP and the reason why it's coming to Xbox to begin with is because of MLB and how much they probably pushed for this. For them,
you think the actual like league stepped up for that?
I think 100% the league is the one that's fronting a lot of the development costs, as well as what they want them to do. The fact that we are getting MLB on Xbox for the first time in decades, at least a decent, a major league game, and for this to hit in the way that it is, where on Xbox you're going to have a better deal than actually PlayStation, which is developing and publishing this game, which. On PlayStation, it's publishing it. Apparently on Xbox, it is MLB. So I think this is a massive, huge one-up for Xbox, for them to have this license finally come to your platform and to be accessible to everyone that has Game Pass. It's a huge win, and I might even play baseball this year. So that's my general take on it.
I do want to preface that it's on Xbox Game Pass, not PC Game Pass.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think the game could even come out on PC. I think it's only on consoles.
I mean, you could try to port it to PC. Like I don't see
it is streaming.
Why not.
It is streaming though.
Yeah, you can stream it to your iOS like you could actually do the Game Pass thing where you can play it on your phone and stuff like that, and that's absolutely free as well.
Yeah, this is massive. This is because like what it was 2 years ago that they said is going to come out to different consoles finally.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that when it wasn't going to just be a PlayStation exclusive game, which is massive because it is the only official MLB game that is a simulation game out there right now, and that coming to all different, like coming to Xbox as well. I think it's coming to Switch. I don't know if it's coming to Switch, but I think the plan was to come to Switch. I think the plan was to come to Switch as well.
Yeah, they got an 8-bit version for Switch coming out.
And the fact that, it being on Game Pass is, I feel like it's surprising, but at the same time, not to me, because, if you want to put it on Xbox, I feel like the precedent now is to put everything on Game Pass when something comes on Xbox. Because it might feel weird when a game comes out on the Xbox platform when it's not part of Xbox Game Pass. It's like, why isn't this part of Game Pass? Right? It's an Xbox game. So I feel like maybe at this point, it's like anything that comes out on that platform should just be on Xbox Game Pass at this point.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll continue.
No, I'm done.
Oh no, as the biggest sports game expert here, obviously.
Number one sports enthusiast.
Not baseball.
American
sports.
baseballs. Yeah, sports in general.
Yeah, American baseball sports expert.
Rugby, checkers.
Our resident Cubs fan.
Yeah,
that's right. Well, Sly is now our resident Cubs fan because they've been watching Chicago PD.
I don't care about baseball. You want to talk to me about literally any sport, I am there. Baseball just isn't
All right,
it.
let's talk about whirly ball.
Oh god.
All right,
There's a lot of hockey on the show.
That is true. Us Chicagoans, for some reason, love our hockey.
Nice. No, I think it makes sense in the long run because when I think of sports games, I think more like Xbox. If I have to think of like consoles in a specific way, I think the Xbox is, I mean this in the nicest way possible, it is the bro console. It is the Halo, it is the shooters, it's the other sports games. And so it may
sports games.
The other sports games, like whirly ball.
Like whirly ball,
Can't even name them.
backyard baseball.
It's the home of the other sports.
I'm putting it under the bracket because I know that there are multiple of them, that I'm saying that it's more of the bro console. So for me, it makes sense to see MLB over on Xbox. Does it make sense that you can get it for free day one, whereas with like Sony, there's probably not going to be that particular option? Maybe not. But contract-wise, we don't know what's happening behind the scenes, so it might make sense contract-wise / money-wise. But just like we've said, like everything, assumably when it's released on the Xbox now, it's going to be on Game Pass in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't make any sense to release it day one on Xbox and not have it on Game Pass. They might be having to do something differently on their end to be able to release it and have it for free, because obviously in some way they're losing money doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But it will entice more people to get the Xbox. So we'll see how it goes. In my gaming circles, I don't hear anything about these types of games.
Sure.
But
I mean, people are legit thinking about, like, because I know a couple people that bought an Xbox
yeah,
recently because this thing is coming out too. Like, not recently, today, I saw a couple people buy an Xbox because they know that MLB The Show is coming out for Xbox on Game Pass day one.
I know
So that's
nobody
kind of
like
the
that.
insane thing, because it's just because like Xbox has been so deprived of like this type of game, and then having a deal of it just being on Game Pass, you can't toss that up. Like, just get an Xbox Series S and you're good to go.
Here,
Yeah.
I'll broaden it up a bit. The fact that I feel like every week I hear an Xbox gets a win with something on Game Pass, whether it's,
Yes.
Bethesda, now all your stuff's on there. Literally last week, hey, all the backwards compatible games are now gonna show up on cloud on Game Pass. So those to me are like constantly win after win after win, and then this is just another win on top of it. It's making me reconsider waiting for a Series X, and then when an S comes around, I just might get it just because I feel like I'm missing out on these experiences on Game Pass that I could be, experiencing. There's some games that were actually literally announced last week in a 4-hour press conference that we decided not to cover because it was a 4-hour press conference and none of us were watching it, where they announced a bunch of indie games, including Dreambox's new game on an Xbox, which is crazy. Those titles look fantastic, and some of them are out right now. You could play them on Xbox, like Naruto Boy and Genesis Noir, which looks amazing. I wish I could sit on my couch and play that right now on the next gen console. So I'm even considering I want an Xbox, but I was considering on getting an S just because I wanted to have that box. So I think this is a win for them for propelling me, the consumer, to want to buy their console, to play these experiences and jump in, jump out in the way that I want to. So, I think overall, great win for Xbox. I think it's also a win for Sony in some aspects. It's still their game going on, Game Pass, and they're getting money from this in some direction, but at the same time.
There had to be a contract for them.
Oh,
to
yeah,
get
no,
lots
for
of money
sure.
from
Microsoft
this.
had to have thrown a bunch of $1 million in order for them to get it on Game Pass. Like, for them to get it, they probably had to pay money, but for them to get it on Game Pass, they had to have paid a little extra. I would say this: if you were a Sony fan, or like if you just bought a PlayStation 5 and that's all you owned right now, how do you think you would feel if, like, you had to pay $60, but your competitor's console, you can technically get it for $15? or $1 in a lot of if you've never had Game Pass before.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's I would say it
that's why
sucks.
Game Pass is so good.
Yeah.
Because,
Like, what if
you
oh, sorry,
know,
go ahead.
if I was so fortunate that I was able to get both a Series S and a PlayStation 5 at or around launch. And like I mean, I played on my PS5 I played Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and like a couple other games. But my Xbox has gotten so much use because of the backwards compatible, because of Game Pass, because I can go, oh, that looks fun. I'll try it out for like 20 minutes at no harm done, right? Like, this is why it's such a good deal. And this game has been so tied to PlayStation. So many people get a PlayStation just to play this game, and now you can get it free on another platform. Like, that has to suck.
Yeah, it definitely has to suck. It's like if they said, "Hey, the next Horizon Zero Dawn's coming to Xbox," but it's also they're getting it on Game Pass, but everybody on Sony now has to pay $60 or $70 now for this game to play it. It's a weird move, and it just doesn't. It feels weird for another company to bolster somebody else's options, especially when your fan base is probably very pissed off at you, especially for the.
Oh, Frank is in the Matrix. Hello.
Hello.
Okay,
Hello?
you went like this,
There we go.
and then you're good.
I didn't hold my hands up, so I have no idea what you're.
No, I meant you froze.
Yeah. What was the last thing I said?
Something about bolstering.
Yeah, bolstering your competitors. Bolstering your competitors.
Portfolio.
Catalog.
Platform.
Yeah.
But I would be a very angry Sony person, especially with the other news this week, which we will transition to. Our next article comes from IGN. PlayStation Store shutdown dates for PS3, PS Vita, and PSP officially announced by Matt TM Kim, actually.
Why
so
is there...
It's shorthanded.
No,
it's a
that's-
trademark versus his,
No,
his
yeah,
initials.
his name's actually Matt TM Kim.
Yes.
It accidentally did that. Sony's not feeling very well this week. After last week's rumors of PSP, PS3, and PS Vita legacy stores shutting down, Sony has officially confirmed that the stores will be shutting down in the summer and early fall. So the dates, I believe, last week were correct. July 2nd for PSP and PS3, August 27th for the Vita. That's crazy. It's like right around the corner. You think they'd give people a little bit more leeway to maybe buy a few games, stuff like that, especially during a pandemic where people don't really have the money to be spending on games, let alone legacy titles. Yeah, it's not looking good at Sony right now. Definitely isn't, especially when you have stuff like the Game Pass thing going on, and then you have this where like Xbox is like, hey, we're going to take all our backwards compatible titles that we have currently right now, and we're going to throw them on Game Pass. And then you have Sony like, well, we're just going to get rid of all of our backwards titles, and you can't buy them at all. I think we talked a lot about it last week, but I do have a new question for this week. Do you think Sony has a plan or a way to appease its audience with a way to be able to access these legacy titles, or do you think they'll just kind of remain as silent as they have been for like the last month or two, actually?
Oh, I doubt they're gonna do anything. I would be so shocked if Sony said anything about this or did anything about this. I think they're just gonna try at least quietly sweep it under the rug, like, oh, we're shutting down these stores, and then not say anything about it and not do anything about it.
There's two things that I think about this. This one is that I kind of wish they would do a virtual console thing for this, like what Nintendo does with their virtual console, and do something for PSP, Vita, and PS3 on the PS5. That would be cool, or even on the PS4 as well. The other thing is, I think it's big news now, but I think in about like 3-4 months, or when this stuff like just kind of goes, it's just gonna happen, and nobody's really gonna bat an eye. Because like I wish I could see the analytics of how many people actually buy games from those stores, from say like a PSP, Vita, or a PS3, because like there's probably a reason why they're doing this, right? To see like maybe it's not worth it to have them out there. I know the preservation thing is a very, very big thing because we don't want to lose these games. So that's why I wish they would do like a virtual console. But I don't think they're going to do anything like that since they really haven't given us any idea that they will.
No, the only indication we've ever had something was during the PlayStation 4 era where they were like randomly, hey, guess what? You can play some PS2 games on your PS4. If you want to play Grand Theft Auto again, here it is. Max Payne, Dark Cloud. And then that was
for
like
$20.
Star Wars titles, but that was it. And there was never a major push for those. There wasn't big marketplace with a PlayStation 2 games. It really was a handful. So for them to go forward, and I honestly want to believe that they'll eventually package this thing. And yes, there would be some sort of like repackaging where all these games work on PS5. I would love that, but as Sly said, I just don't see it. If anything, we'll get a remaster of every single one of these in the future, but right now, I just
want all 2,000 games.
All 2,000 games, yeah, including all your licensed games. This is why I'm starting to get slowly back into physical media again, is because all these licensed games are going the way of the dodo bird, and we need, if you really cared about any of them, and honestly, a lot of licensed games are not the greatest, but there are some gems. Then yeah, this is the only way. The only way is going to have to reach out and go to your local gaming stores and see what they have that they're going to charge now. Oh my God. If you go to exchange any of the gaming stores, they're going to like up their value now on each of those games that are no longer on a digital store. So grab your Persona that's how you can.
It's such a like Sony's like just their mentality this generation is so polarizing compared to how they were at the beginning of the PS4 era, where like, hey, you can play these games on any console. Here, you can trade your games in. You can give these physical copies to people, stuff like that. And then like completely just like destroying all that goodwill within like almost a year, kind of with all these changes and everything like that. I hope they have a plan, because it just seems like they're kind of just going at it, like they just don't really care.
Yeah, this is,
and that's usually. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, this is not the days of the Atomboids, the Kazurais, the Jack Trentons, the old school, where I felt like they were doing something during the PS4 era, and now we have, I think Mark Ryan is his name, and every time I hear a quote from him, he just sounds befuddled as to why people care about old stuff. So,
you care about Sony's pedigree?
Thanks for the lackluster PlayStation Classic that I have. That's only 20 games on it. I had to put Rugrats on that bitch myself.
Oh, Rugrats wasn't really a great game, so I'm glad they omitted it.
Fucking great game, great minigame game. Anyways, continue.
Fee, well, I just wanted over
there. Yeah, Fee, what do you have to say?
It's a toss up. Like, I see why, in some regard, why they're doing this, because the way that they've been really treating the Vita, especially in the West, over the past few years, has essentially been quite lackluster. I'm not gonna like kind of sugarcoat it there. And then the PSP, I'm slightly shocked that it still has a store in some regard. And then the PS3, like, I would have assumed that probably would have like trickled off a little bit after they stopped offering like PS3 games when they were doing the like PS Plus. But it kind of it sucks to see this happen, because I know a lot of people still use these consoles and handhelds, and having that portion and those stores kind of closing down, it really limits the people who are actually using them consistently still. And it limits them, and now they have to go through like scalpers, or they have to go to secondhand stores and hope for the best to try to get those types of items. But on the other hand, I'm slightly hopeful that maybe this means that they might be putting more of a focus on new content. Maybe, who knows, maybe a new handheld, because they decided to shut down 2 of their handheld stores, or maybe they're just shutting that portion of their history down and then trying to look forward and just paying attention to the PlayStation 5. Either way, I'm hopeful, but it's really sad to see these go because a lot of the news that we've seen recently coming out of Sony in comparison to Microsoft is it's a lot of we're shutting stuff down, we're doing this, we're limiting this, we're going over this way. And then we see Microsoft, and I'm not trying to I'm not a Microsoft fanboy or fan person by any means. Like I like Xbox and I like Microsoft, but we're seeing a lot of positive things coming out of Xbox, whereas we're seeing a lot of negativity when it comes to PlayStation. So here's hoping over the next few months it kind of becomes clear why they're doing this, but shrug, I don't know. It's a slight bummer for sure.
I feel like their whole mindset when it came to the PS4 is because they were behind, right? They felt like they were behind. Now PS5 is ahead, and I feel like we're just seeing the switch again now. But I do feel like PS5 is still selling more than what Xbox was selling, right? Or Xbox still isn't showing numbers. I think that's really what it is.
Also, it's kind of hard to tell right now, especially with the shortage of of consoles.
Because
people are kind of just grabbing whatever they can.
Yeah.
I have seen PS5s be a little bit more readily available, but then again, I've only seen people try to buy PS5s, so I'm not sure if Xbox has been more or less.
I mean, readily available is a very, very odd term to say because
I mean, like every week you'll see a
available,
PlayStation show up,
but they're sold out like this. Like they're just sold out constantly, right? So they are still selling. So for me, this doesn't affect me at all because I have a PS3, but I never play my PS3. I have a PSP, never play my PSP.
Yeah.
Vita, never played. So like, I know we had this discussion last year. Old game is old, right? Or old media is old, but like, I haven't touched these consoles or anything like that in years. So for me, it's like it is what it is. Like I'm okay with it.
And this is the last thing I'll say about it. If it was promoted to me as something new, then I could see what I missed out on. Then maybe I would buy. Like I don't know what's on the PSP because I missed out on that platform entirely. On the Vita, there are certain aspects that I wish, like, hey, guess what? This is the first time you get to play Golden Abyss on your PS5. Like that would have been awesome. Like if they could do that.
I said, if they could do a virtual console thing, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Golden Abyss on the PS5 would be great. Switch some of the controls because I know they have those back buttons on the Vita that are used for stuff.
Now it's the front touch.
It's a touchscreen technically, so you could probably just use the DualSense's pad.
Yeah. So like, dude, if they did a virtual thing for like not even all the games, just the big titles for the PSP and stuff like that, that would be huge for them. They would make so much money off of that. And I think people would not make a bigger deal out of it. But I still do think next year, I don't think many people are going to make a big deal out of it anyways. I think it's just right now that we have the dates and like, oh my God. But I think in about a year, it'll probably just be whatever.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I, just to kind of like end it at a specific note, I still don't have a PlayStation 5. I still don't have the new Series X. But it's mostly because I currently have Game Pass, and I'm more than happy to just play the games that I have on Game Pass, and then the few games that I have on Blizzard because Harv made me buy them, and then we have just the free games that I've been getting with Epic and Stadia that I'm to a point where I'm like, I don't know what's on the PlayStation 5 that I feel the urge to buy one right now. And I think that here's hoping that they put more of a focus on things that might entice more people. Because right now, let's be honest, the majority of the people that are buying the PlayStation 5s are ones that are trying to get access to games that they may not have had access to the PlayStation 4, or they're trying to play games specifically coming this year on the PlayStation 5, or it's a scalper, because scalpers love to buy those consoles out like it's candy, and try to upsell the bejeebus out of it, because I'm still seeing that where people are selling them for $1,200 plus. So I'm hoping that we kind of see it kind of even out a little bit, but with the shortages the way that they are, even with the capture cards and all those graphics cards and stuff like that, might not.
Yeah. I've played my PS5 once for Demon Souls, and I have not turned it on since. I've not turned it on since. I have a very expensive door shop right now, I just want to say. a very, very expensive doorstop.
Yeah, mine's still not even
You
plugged
went
in.
through so much effort just to get that PS5.
I remember.
And you're
yeah,
not
I
even
it was me,
using
you,
For
it was
a game
me,
that's gonna
Sly,
be
and
on
somebody
PC.
else that night.
Nah.
But that's the thing. I buy everything on PC, right? When I can. So when a PlayStation game comes out, I rather if it's gonna be on PC, I'd rather just play it on PC.
Oh, it was gonna be. It is still gonna be.
What?
Yeah, eventually.
Demon's
Souls?
Souls.
Bloodborne's
The
gonna
game, yeah.
probably be ported
When the
over.
game was announced, it said
doubt.
captured on PC.
I know. No, not that one.
Well,
That
captured
one.
on PC has nothing to do with them releasing it
No,
on
no, no,
PC.
no.
A
I'm
lot of
saying
games are
eventually,
captured
it
on
most
PC.
likely will be on PC.
Demon's Souls was not captured on PC. That was the Final Fantasy game. That was not Final Fantasy. It was the Square game that was captured on PC. The Demon's Souls was on PS5. I don't think that game is going to come out on PC. I know that little card that they had at the end, but I don't think that game is going to come out on PC.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'll end it with this. I just think it's hyper ironic that the title that one of the first titles everybody plays on the PS5 is Astro's Playroom, which plays a lot on Sony's history and nostalgia. And it's super ironic that they will, market that as their platform and market all those. Look at all these games. Look at how many games we used to have. Like, look at all the old Resident Evils. Look at all the stuff like that, and then immediately delete all of them and not have any way for their fan base to play them. I think it's such a dumb move. But on that note, just like last week, I think we did it last week, right?
Yes.
Just like last week, we're adding a segment to the news when it comes up or when Mario kind of wants to, called Mario's Movie Madness, where he discusses movie news whenever he wants to. So take it away, Home Skillet Biscuit Man.
So to keep it short for this week, I'm actually going to just do the movie quickie news. So all the quick hits here.
Movie
So
quickie.
that way I can get some quick opinions on these. So first of all, Witcher Season 2 has wrapped filming. By the way, all my sources are coming from /film.com. So I love that website. Please visit it for all the news. But Witcher Season 2 has finally wrapped filming. Who likes the Witcher TV show here? Anybody here? If he likes it, Barrett likes it.
I like Witcher.
Like it?
I like Witcher.
Sly, give it a
The
shot.
Witcher.
It's very bisexual as hell.
Yeah, I got the
I'm down.
Yeah.
Witcher. I put a Witcher medallion on my lighter.
Yes.
I like Witcher.
Incredible.
Yes, I too am fascinated with Henry Cavill's abs, so I'm very excited to see him in season 2 of The Witcher.
You can grind meat off them motherfuckers.
Oh my god! And he'll be building a PC at the same time.
Oh shit.
Second piece of news: Eli Roth's Borderlands has started filming. Of course, this is the Eli Roth from the people that brought you Hostel and Cabin Fever. And the cast, of course, is the oddest one with Kate Blanchett as Lilith, Kevin Hart as Roland, and a bunch of other wacky casting news. Are we excited for this or no?
No, I'm
Not
not.
even.
Absolutely, not even like close.
No.
I love Borderlands. I love the series I love with a passion. But this movie sounds like it's gonna be dog shit.
It sounds like it's going to be absolute dog shit, so I'm not giving it any more breath. News that makes me sad. Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, by the way, fucking love the title, is delayed till Thanksgiving. How many of us are going to go see this versus going to San Diego Comic-Con? I'm going to raise my hand. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to go see
I'll
this.
probably say yes to this. I'll probably see it, but what? Excuse me. What is with everybody scheduling shit for Thanksgiving? Like, do people not go see?
This is where our
do people
hopes and
not eat
dreams-
at home anymore?
Well, actually, if you remember, Frank, when I went to Thanksgiving at your house, I left it so I could go see Aquaman. So
Yes.
everything is scheduled around Thanksgiving.
You banged my house. You
I
came,
did.
you ate my food, and then you just left to go see Aquaman.
Fucking right, I did.
Jesus Christ.
I love Resident Evil. I love the dumb movies. They're dumb, and I love them. Go ahead, Harv, you got something to say?
So this is a reboot?
It's a reboot of it's the first game and the second game together.
Have we seen any trailers on this?
No,
yet?
there's just been casting announcements and there have been photos from the set that look retro as hell. It takes place in 1998. I'm sorry, and it looks awesome. and I
Very
can't
different
wait.
years.
Yeah, sorry, very different decade.
Yeah.
But I am very, very excited for this movie because the casting also looks awesome. And I'm hoping the best.
No,
I mean,
you got me excited now. You got me excited for this because this looks like a cool project.
yeah, the fact that they're combining both the first, there's no Alice in this. It's literally just Jill and Chris, and Leon and Claire. And then the movie is going to involve the two games, and they apparently have replicated the police department, like the hall.
RPD.
Yeah, so they've actually apparently recreated it, and I'm so excited.
This is everything I wanted out of a Resident Evil movie.
Well, we'll see. We haven't seen footage yet.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, he might be there, which is really cool.
I don't know. They got Ada though, which is awesome.
Yeah,
they'll have a
Ada.
tyrant.
Yeah,
They'll most likely have a tyrant
And
of some
Wesker.
sort.
and Wesker's in here too. So I wonder if they're going to do the ending of like rocket launcher stuff. We'll see.
They got Birkin, they got Irons, they got everybody. Yeah,
I wonder
that's
if the movies are going to be simultaneous at the same time, but I don't know if that makes sense at all.
It doesn't, because I believe one takes place 3 to 6 months before 2 does.
So we'll see. We'll see how they handle it. But I'm excited for Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City.
because Jill's not even in 2, is she?
No.
She's in 3. Well, Jill's in 2. She's in another part of the city at the same time.
Yes.
So that does happen at the coinciding times.
So 2 and 3 happen at the same time. 1 and 2 are months apart because 1 takes place in the Spencer Mansion.
Yes.
In Resident Evil 2 and 3, Chris is nowhere to be found. Chris, that's why the whole reason for Claire to be coming into Raccoon City is to look for Chris.
So I wonder how this is going to be. Like, are they going to do the first game and then just get rid of Jill and Chris entirely for like the second part of the movie?
I don't know.
Claire in.
I don't know.
They're probably rewriting the story a little bit to fit.
I need some corny dialogue. Give me some of that corny ass dialogue that you have in Resident Evil 2. I'm down, man. Let's go.
Jill, don't open that door. That's what I want. Just give me that, please.
We shouldn't keep meeting like this.
Exactly. So yeah, that is Mario's movie madness. Mario's quickie news. I'm excited for Resident Evil. Thank you.
I'm also excited for Resident Evil.